Hi everybody, welcome to Bar with Mary. If you are looking for a little posture reset, then you have come to the right place. We are going to take a 20-minute class focused on strengthening the core and the back. All you need for equipment is a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, no worries. You can always grab yourself a nice thick book and that will stand in place just fine. Once you have your equipment, roll your mat out and let's get started. Block at the top of the mat so it's out of your way, and we're going to come to an all fours position for our warm-up. So starting here with just a little bit of wrist stretching and mobility. Rotate your fingers back towards your knees, soften the elbows, and then start to take a gentle press of the hips back and forward. Really tiny little movement, feeling that stretch through the forearms, into the wrist joints. And then right from go here, make sure that you're focused on keeping that nice strong neutral spine so we're not arching into the low back. Abdominals are lifting, shoulders are soft, front low ribs are knitting in and drawing up to the ceiling. Last time here, shift the hips back, shift the hips forward, hold it, and now rotate your fingers out to the sides of the room, and we'll take the same little shifting motion, but this time we're going to go right and left, just side to side, increasing a little bit more into the mobility of the wrist joint. Now this class is going to start with a pretty extended series of you up on your hands. If you have wrist sensitivity, I have a couple options for you. Keep going with this little side-to-side movement. Okay, you can always do the whole series with your hand on the ground instead of on the block, or you could come down onto your forearms. Last time, meet me center, rotate your fingers to face forward. Press down through all 10 finger pads and really squeeze your thumbs in towards each other. Tuck the toes under, take a big inhale. As you exhale, lift the hips up, downward dog, really focusing on pressing your chest towards your thighs. On your inhale, gently tap your knees back to the mat and feel the abdominals lift, coming to that strong supported all fours position. Exhale again, hips lift, chest presses back to the thighs, opening up the shoulders. Inhale, knees tap down, strong abdominals. Keep going just like that. Now I am not coming to a bear plank here. I'm letting my knees tap down so that I get a moment to rest before I press back up. If you'd rather come to a bear plank, that's totally fine. Last time here, exhale, hips high, chest presses back. Inhale, knees tap down. And then from here, untuck your toes, press in the tops of the feet, and just pause here for a moment. Really feel the crown of the head reaching forward, the hips reaching back. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, really feel the abdominals wrapping around you, 360 degrees, that wrapping in and up sensation. One more time. Inhale, soften and lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Feel the pelvic floor lift up. Feel the belly hugging up towards the spine. And then inhale, release that. Grab your block. Put it underneath your left hand. Left palm is going to press into the block, and we're going to really feel the shoulders drawing away from each other. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, hug the abdominals up and in like you just did, and let the right hand come up to the back of the head. On your inhale, right hand is gently going to come back down to the mat, and on your exhale, lift it up, bring it back just behind your right ear. Keep going like that, nice and slow. Focusing on keeping everything but the right arm completely still. So you're going to start to feel a lot of work into the left shoulder, into the left side of the back, and absolutely some work into the left wrist joint. This is where the part where if it feels like too much, you can always bring your left palm onto the floor instead of on the block. As you lift the right hand up, really focusing on keeping the core active. Use that exhale. 2 more times here. Exhale. Inhale. Last one, I want you to keep your right hand lifted. Now really push the finger pads on the left hand down into the block. Take an inhale, and as you do that, squeeze your left shoulder blade into center, letting your chest dip down just an inch or so. As you exhale, spread the shoulder blade wide on the left side and puff your chest up to the ceiling. Inhale, left shoulder blade squeezes into midline. Exhale, spread it wide. So you might have heard these called scapula push-ups, or scapula is your shoulder blade, right? So what this is a movement of the shoulder blade in and out. The challenge is to keep everything else nice and neutral. So abdominals stay really strong, and we're just building that upper back strength to help us maintain a nice, proud chest and a really strong upper back. 2 more times. Last one. Hold that press down into the block, really spreading wide through the left shoulder blade. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, abdominals lift, right arm reaches forward, and maybe left leg extends back, lifting up to a hover, coming to a bird dog. On your inhale, I want you to lower the left leg down and bring the right hand back behind the right ear. On your exhale, abdominals engage, lift to that bird dog position, same side. On your inhale, back to start. Keep going, really focusing again, not on your speed, but on the breath here. So as you exhale, lift the belly up. Maintain that strong abdominal connection so we're not dipping into the low back. 2 more. Last one. Hold it right there in that bird dog position. Reach the right fingers forward. Reach the left toes back, and again, spread that left shoulder blade nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale. Hold for 4, 3, 2. Lower the left leg down, but keep it long. Bring your right forearm down to the mat so you come down into this little half forearm plank, half chaturanga push-up. So your left elbow squeezes in towards center here. You're pressing into the right forearm, chest is reaching forward. Kind of an interesting position, I know. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, I want you to lift the belly up, push into the left hand, and reach your right arm forward, tapping the right fingers on the floor in front of you. On your inhale, pull the right forearm back in, tapping it down to the mat. Exhale, belly lifts, right arm reaches forward. Inhale, pull it in. Short set here, okay? I know this is a lot on this left side tricep. 3 more. 2 more. Hips stay square. Make sure your left hip is not lifting here. Last time. Reach it out. Pull it in. Rest your right forearm down onto the mat and keep it there. Again, take a breath in. Get long through the spine. On your exhale, push into your left hand and rotate into a modified side plank so shoulders square off toward me. On your inhale, come back to that starting position, bending into the left elbow, squaring the hips down to the mat. Exhale, right forearm pushes into the mat. You rotate open. Inhale, bring it back down to center. Now you might find that it might be more comfortable for you to bring your right fingers in so they're touching the mat. So you're more on an angle with this right forearm. That's totally fine, okay? Exhale, twist open. Inhale to rotate down. 2 more times. Last one, I want you to hold this twist open. Now you can stay right here, or maybe you reach your left arm up to the sky. Push into the right forearm. Lift the right side obliques and really feel length out through the left heel as you reach the left fingers up to the sky. Hold it right here and breathe. 4, 3, push into the right forearm, more. 2, child's pose. Extend the block out in front of you. Stack your hands on the block and then melt your heart down to the mat, taking a nice stretch here. Big breath in and a big breath out. Walking yourself up to seated. I'm going to spin around so we can do the other side. You do not have to. You're welcome to stay facing the way you are. Block is going to come under your right hand. Finding that strong all fours position, knees under hips, hands under the shoulders. Really press the right finger pads into the block. Take an inhale. As you exhale, left hand comes up to the back of the head. As you inhale, the left hand returns to the mat. Keep going with that variation. So as we lift the hand, really feeling the abdominals wrapping around us, 360 degrees. So not just thinking about the belly lifting up to the back, but also thinking about the sides of the waist hugging in, and thinking about how the back engages as well here. Okay, the transverse abdominis wraps all the way around you. So feeling that hugging in sensation, then lifting the hand away from the mat. 3 more times. 2 more. This time we lift the left hand, we keep it up behind the left ear. Now soften just slightly through the right elbow. Take an inhale, and as you do that, squeeze your right shoulder blade in towards center. On your exhale, right shoulder blade spreads wide, chest puffs up towards the ceiling. Inhale, shoulder blade squeeze in, the chest dips. Exhale, shoulder blade spreads wide, chest lifts. Keep going just like that. So feeling the movement of the shoulder blades, squeezing in and spreading wide. The challenge as you squeeze the shoulder blade in is making sure you're not letting go of your abdominal connection. So we're not arching into the ribs as we draw the shoulder blade towards center. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Hold the up. Take an inhale, feel length. Exhale, right leg reaches back. Left arm reaches forward, bird dog position. Inhale, return to where you started. Left hand behind the left ear, right knee to the mat. Exhale, reach. Inhale, down. As we reach, we're pressing the right palm into the block. We're pressing the left shin and the top of the left foot down into the mat. And then really, again, feeling the wrapping sensation of the abdominals first before we lift the leg and extend the arm. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, I want you to hold the out. Feel the right shoulder blade spread wide. Push into the top of the left foot and then reach arm and leg a little farther away from each other. Hold right here and breathe. 4, 3, 2. Right toes come down to the mat, but the right leg stays long. Left forearm comes down to the mat. You squeeze your right elbow in and come into a little chaturanga position on the right side. Now shoulders and hips are still squared down to the mat. Really feel your left hip bone pulling back here. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, lift the abdominals and reach the left fingertips forward to tap the mat. Inhale, left forearm comes back. You come back to that little half forearm plank. Exhale, reach the hand forward. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, reach. Inhale, pull. Just 3 more. I know this is a lot on the right side tricep. You're doing great. 2 more. Last one. Hold that little forearm plank. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, I want you to push your right hand into the block to help you rotate and open into this little modified side plank position. Left forearm is pushing down into the mat. On your inhale, come back. Forearm / chaturanga position. It's a really common position, so that's the official title. Now, right where you are is a great place to stay, or it might feel better on your left shoulder if you bring your left fingertips more in towards the block, so you have a little bit of an internal rotation into that shoulder. Exhale, twist it open, lift up to the left side obliques, and rotate back 2 more times. Last one, rotate open and hold it. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe the right arm releases from the block and reaches up to the sky. Push into the left forearm, spreading the left shoulder blade wide. Lift up to the left side obliques, and then really feel length through the crown of the head, through the left heel. Hold and breathe right here. 4, 3, 2, child's pose. Bring the block out in front of you 1 more time. Stack your hands on the block. Melt your heart down. Let's take 2 big breaths here. Okay, last thing on the hands. Keep your hands on the block. Shift yourself forward, tuck the toes, and come up into a high plank position. Both hands are on the block. So you're almost in this little tricep push-up position, right? Feel the heart draw forward, feel the back of the head press up to the sky, and then really reach back through your heels, knowing that you can always tap your knees down. From here, we're gonna take a tiny bend in the elbows Then you're gonna press them towards straight. Inhale, you bend. Exhale, press, so not a full push-up. Tiny little 1-2 inch bend in the elbows and a press. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press. Now as you move here, really feel your shoulder blades spreading wide. Your front low ribs knitting in and drawing up. And think about how your pubic bone is drawing up towards your belly button here. So we're really long through the low back. 4 more times. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Tap the knees down. Sit back on your heels, and we'll shake out the hands. Awesome job, you're done on your hands. You're not done with class, but you are done on your hands. So that's a nice little breather, right? From here, okay, we're gonna come onto our back. We're gonna bring the block with us. The block is gonna squeeze in between our thighs to start. Feet are planted. Block is gonna come about halfway between the thighs here. Then I want you to reach your hands up to the ceiling. Maybe take a minute here, circle the wrists. All right, once you feel content, reach the fingers up, take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're gonna squeeze in on the block and you're gonna float your legs up to a tabletop position. As you inhale, I want you to lower your legs back down to the floor and soften your squeeze on the block. Exhale, squeeze the block. Hug the abdominals down, float the legs up tabletop. Inhale, lower, keep going just like that. Now, as you lift the legs, I want you to start by really squeezing in on the block. So you activate the inner thighs. That activation of the inner thighs is then going to connect with the pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor rises as you exhale and lowers as you inhale. So that's what makes breath patterns so crucial with abdominal work, because you want your pelvic floor lifting to coincide with the engagement of your abdominals so that they're working in harmony. As you lower the legs, you're softening and exhaling, letting the pelvic floor release down. Before your legs lift, you've got the inner thigh engagement, you've got the pelvic floor lift, and then we feel the low belly band pulling down towards the floor here. So feel the low belly pull down, legs float up, lower down. 2 more times like that. Last time, I want you to keep your legs lifted and just squeeze in on the block. Go in and in. Little squeeze, little squeeze. Soften the shoulders down into the mat. Let your head be heavy. And again, really think about the low belly pulling down towards the floor and your hip bones hugging in towards each other. 8 more, go 8. Go 4, 3, 2, hold it right there. Keep that engagement, but grab the block and bring it in between your hands the long way. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, legs stay, you squeeze in on the block and you float the arms overhead. Maybe the block even taps the floor, maybe it doesn't. Inhale, soften and lift the block back up to the ceiling. Exhale, squeeze the block, reach the arms overhead. Inhale, soften and lift. So same thing you were just doing in your legs, but now we're doing it with the block in the hands. So is it as intense on the abdominals? No, but you're still very much working the core here. And if it feels like too much, you can always bring your feet back to the mat. As we exhale and squeeze the block, feel the engagement of the arms, the engagement of the back before you lift overhead. And with that lift overhead, use the exhale and feel how your rib cage knits together and really actively draws down towards the floor in order to counterbalance the weight of the arms going overhead. 2 more times. Last time, we're going to keep the block overhead. Just squeeze in on the block. Go in and in. You've got it. In and in. Little squeeze, little squeeze. 8 more squeezes here. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, bring the block back to center. Now from here, I want you to squeeze your legs together and keep the block in your hand. Take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to send the legs straight to the ceiling if that feels okay for your hamstrings. Legs and arms are going to move together. Take a breath. As you exhale, squeeze the block, reach the block overhead, lower the legs. As you inhale, soften your grip on the block, bring everything back to center. Stay slow. Exhale, squeeze and reach limbs away. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, squeeze and reach. Inhale, center. Now, as we squeeze in on the block and reach it overhead, feel your shoulders softening down into the mat here so they're not gripping up towards your ears or clenching and lifting up to the ceiling. 3 more like that. 2 more. Last one. You're going to hold it on the out. Breathe right here. And again, we're going to squeeze in on the block. Go in and in. You've got it. In and in. Feel softness through the neck. And again, think about your pubic bone drawing towards your belly button. Feel your front low ribs knitting in and drawing down towards the mat. 8 more squeezes. 8, 7, 6, 5. Go 4, 3, 2. Stay right there. Just bend your knees and plant your feet. Take a breath in. As you exhale, float the block all the way up to the ceiling and then curl head, neck, and shoulders up, tapping the block to the thighs. As you inhale, lower down, tap the block to the floor. Exhale, curl it up. Block taps the thighs. Inhale, lower it down. Maybe block taps the floor. Maybe it doesn't. That's fine. We're going to do 4 more just like that. You're almost done with this class. 3 more. Last 2. Last one. Curl it up. Hold it there. Squeeze the block. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, just like before, block reaches overhead. Block taps your thighs, but this time we're staying curled up in the chest. Feet are planted, so hip flexors can be nice and soft. 3 more. 2 more. This time block reaches overhead and you know what's going to happen. Hold it there. Squeeze in on the block. This is it. Little squeeze, little squeeze, little squeeze. Collarbones are wide. Shoulders are softening away from your ears. You're here for 16, 15, 14. You can do it. If you need to lower your head to the mat, feel free to do that. 8 more. 8. Go 4, 3, 2. Here's your hold. Squeeze the block in. Pull the rib cage in and down. Curl a little bit higher. And then reach the block back 1 more inch. Hold here for 4. This is class. It's 3. It's 2. Lay back. Place the block off to the side. Hug your knees into your chest. And maybe take a gentle rock from side to side. Amazing work. Let your arms come out to a T or a cactus shape. Maybe it feels good to shift your hips a little to the left before you take your knees over to the right. Little supine twist here. Now I'm going to keep my arms out in this cactus shape just to get a little chest opener and a little stretch for my upper back. But feel free to take a different variation if that feels better. 3 big breaths here. Last one. Inhale the knees back to center. Maybe you want to shift your hips over to the right side of the mat. Knees fall to the left. You can cactus the arms. And then 3 big breaths in this twist. Last one. Inhale the knees to center. Grab a hold of the backs of the thighs. Rack yourself up to a seated position. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, let it go. And that was your class. Amazing work. I am so happy you joined me today. I'll be back next week with a brand new Barre with Mary class. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you thought of this class, and I'll see you back here again soon. Have a great day.